Hi, this is Dreama, and today we are doing a client reading. And as always, I know the name of the client, and they know their name, but I won't be saying it in this video. Now, today's reading is actually a 2-question reading, and we're going to use a 6-card spread. Once I get those laid out, I will go ahead and explain the positioning. But we're going to be using the Legacy of the Divine Tarot, which is one of the decks that I am extremely connected to, and one that I use quite often. Okay, and hopefully the camera is getting all the cards. I'm going to move it back just slightly. Okay, now the way this is going to work is the top 3 cards will be for the first question, and the bottom 3 cards for the second question. Now, the client actually has a question. It's kind of a love reading in a way. It's a combination of a 1-question reading and like a who is my soulmate reading. Just combined it into 6 cards and put it all into one reading. That's basically because that's kind of what the client was looking for, was the combination of 2 different readings. Now, the first question that the client has is whether there will be a future relationship between her and another person. Now, I know who that person is and she does, but I also won't be saying their name. Now, we're going to use the top row for this question. And we have the 6 of coins, the 8 of coins, and the Queen of Wands. Now, I'm going to start actually with the 6. And what this tells me is that it looks like in the future there will be a relationship with this person. The reason I say that is because I'm not sure if you can see, but there are 2 hands. One is offering coins and the other is holding it out and receiving coins. So that tells me that there will be an offering of a relationship sometime in the future for this person and the client. Okay, so it looks like that will happen. Next, we have the 8 of coins. Now, this is an interesting card because this card, I'm not sure how well you can see, but there's a man who is looking at some papers, and he's got coins above his head and coins below him, and they're just kind of everywhere. And what I'm getting from this card is that this person seems to be very concentrated on this one paper he's reading the whole while he's surrounded by these coins. And what that tells me is that it looks as though that once this relationship is established, this man seems to be very concentrated and working very hard reading that piece of paper just so he can have all those coins. So that tells me there will be a relationship, but it also will be one that doesn't come about without a whole lot of work. There's going to need to be a whole lot of concentration and a lot of work on both parties' sides. Okay. Next, we have the Queen of Wands. Now, this is an interesting card. It's a very powerful card. It's also what I would call a fire card. It's very red, and the Queen is a very powerful figure. Now, what I'm getting from this card is that it does seem that this relationship, that it's going to be like a power struggle. Someone is going to want more power than the other. Okay, what that tells me is that even though that you will be in this relationship, one party will hold most of the power, and you just need to be kind of careful and make sure that that doesn't consume the relationship. Don't let one person be, like a servant and the other person be the boss. And that's kind of what I'm getting from this. It looks like it's going to be a relationship of a lot of hard work. It will be an offering that will be made to the client, but it's also going to be a relationship where there's this power struggle going on, where one person wants to dominate everything. Okay? All right, next we're going to move on to the next set of 3 cards. Now, this is for our second question. Now, the second question is about the client's soulmate. Okay? Who is this soulmate? Now, the reason I want to go into a little bit of explanation here, just because when you ask a question like, who is your soulmate, what you're going to end up with, you're not going to get a specific name, okay? It's not going to name that person. Tarot doesn't do that. It's just not, it's not the way it works. What it will do is give us clues as to what kind of person that your soulmate may be. Now, then you as the client can take that and, you know, try to figure out who the soulmate is, but it won't name them with their exact names or anything like that. It's just going to tell us what kind of person they are, okay? All right. And we have the Justice card. And we have the Page of Swords. And lastly, we have the Nine of Wands. Okay, I'm going to start with the Justice card. Now, what this tells me about your soulmate for the client is that this person, your soulmate, is someone that is very fair-minded, if that makes sense. They are someone that, you know, believes in, you know, I wouldn't say law and order. That's really not what I'm getting. There's someone that at times feels as though they may be almost self-righteous, that they could do no wrong. Now, this does not mean that's actually who they are. That's what they think. What this person thinks is that they are above everyone else, and they are very self-righteous, okay? That's what I'm getting from that, okay? Next, we have the Page of Swords. Now, this is an interesting card because when you take that and compare it to Justice, it's kind of a different avenue, I guess would be the way to put it. A different avenue of the way that this person is. Now, this person is someone that is very self-righteous. Remember, that's what the last card told us. But the Page is something completely different. It tells me that, you know, there's somebody there that almost portrays an innocence, okay? They're arrogant, but if you look a little deeper, that's really not who they are. They want everyone to think they're self-righteous, but if you look deeper, that's not really what they are. They're a lot more naive than they let on, okay? That's kind of what I'm getting. This person would also not resort to spying on other people, you know, to see what's going on and things like that. They like to portray themselves as self-righteous and above everyone else, yet what they're doing is spying on people, okay? And then we have the Nine of Wands. Now, this is an interesting card because I'm not sure if you can see, but the man is bending over and he's kind of holding one wand up and the rest are all behind. So what that tells me is that this person is bowing down. So there'll come a time when this person will present themselves to you, the client, and just kind of bow down, put their head down, and just take it all in. They're the kind of person that likes to pause and hesitate. They don't want to jump into things. They will spy first. They'll become self-righteous. But they want to stop and pause and delay. Okay? All right, that does conclude my reading for today. I'd like to thank everyone for joining me, and I do hope to see you all again.